So look, obviously this is a hearing over so-called sanctuary cities. A lot of the tension that we've seen to this point has come between the 4 Democratic mayors that we have seen and some of the Republican members of Congress who, of course, make up this committee. But this moment in particular came between a Republican member of Congress, Chair Jim Comer, and Democratic member of Congress, Ayanna Pressley, as she tried to enter into the record an article noting the crime rates of immigrants versus those of citizens, and this is what happened.
Mr. Chair, can I have several articles. I need to enter them. Let me just go ahead with what the articles are, what they speak to.
What's the next article?
Let me proceed. Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committee so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural right as a member of this committee
you can
to
go,
enter documents
you can go with
into the
Mr.
record.
Frost and Mr.
I am
Green.
reclaiming my time.
That's
you
what
do
you
not
want.
get to
No.
dictate
Ms. Presley,
how
I've been
I
very,
recite the
I have
articles
been
for
very
the
accommodating
record.
to you. Mr. Superjohn,
And I
start
take
the
particular
clock.
umbrage
Start
as a
the clock.
survivor of sexual violence.
Go.
I will enter
Order.
into the record. This is my right. Thank you.
No.
So I will say, overall, the hearing has never gotten to that level, but obviously one of the more intense interactions we've seen over the course of this. I should mention, too, yes, this is a hearing about so-called sanctuary cities. There's not really a single definition of it, but it's essentially jurisdictions that don't always cooperate with federal immigration actions depending on the situation. And in large part, what we've heard from these mayors is while there are some instances of migrants committing crimes, some of them violent, some of them after having been held in local police custody, these mayors have argued that overall their cities have been safer as a result of these policies, of their current policies, citing drops in murder over the past few years, which of course corresponds with their respective influxes of migrants as well. Those are some of the numbers that we've heard cited by these mayors. But again, they also made a point to emphasize that while they don't necessarily comply with every ICE detainer request, for example, they do comply with ICE warrants, and they have been very clear about citing the differences between those two situations.
Tonight, quote, "You all have blood on your hands." Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace confronting Democratic mayors whose cities have seen the biggest influx of migrants.
When an illegal alien rapes a woman, do you believe you're on the right side of history? Yes or no?
I will charge and prosecute them.
Yes or no? Okay, well, okay. You said you would go to jail, didn't you?
I will
for
charge
harboring
and
illegal
prosecute
aliens or something? Mayor Wu, yes or no?
No, rape is obviously
Then
horrible.
why are you letting rapists back out onto the streets of Boston?
That is not true. That is
Okay.
not what's happening in
When
Boston.
That moment leading to a shouting match between Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley and Chairman James Comer, after he tried to stop her from reading the titles of articles that disputed Nancy Mace's line of questioning.
Mr.
I am
Green,
reclaiming my time.
that's
you
what
do
you
not
want.
get to
No. Ms. Presley,
how
I've been
I
very,
recite the
I have
articles
been
for
very
the
accommodating
record.
to you. Mr. Superjohn,
And I
start
take
the
particular
clock.
umbrage
Start
as a
the clock.
survivor
No, I
of
don't.
sexual violence.
Go.
I will enter into the record. This is my right. Thank you.
No.
Out front now, the Democratic mayor of Denver, Mike Johnston. You saw him there testifying in the hearing today in that exchange with Congresswoman Mace. So, Mayor Johnston, just, you were there all day. Did anything productive come out of the hearing?
I mean, I think we got the chance to clarify some misperceptions. I think this was not a crisis that we created or we chose. This was a humanitarian crisis that landed in our cities because there hasn't been federal immigration policy change. And so we responded to that. I think we made clear some things that are false. We do follow federal law. We right now are cooperating on the detention and pursuit of violent criminals all the time. I think what we're not doing is we're not going to do ICE's job for them. We're not going to use our Denver police officers to chase down grandmothers out of church pews that have been in the city for 20 years. And so I think there is some clarification about what our cities do and what they don't do, which I think was helpful.
All right. And I know you've talked about not using Denver police in that role before. I mean, you've been adamant about that for a long time here. You did face some tough questions from Congressman Jim Jordan. And I want to ask you about this, Mayor, because his questioning was about the recent release of a suspected Venezuelan gang member in Denver, shown here in this post. So ICE in Denver says that agents were forced to arrest this man in public rather than inside the jail. They said he got released on Friday, and then he assaulted the officers. So I want to play part of your exchange with Congressman Jordan at the hearing.
One of the ICE officers got assaulted, didn't he?
I reviewed the video,
They had to
sir.
tase the guy, didn't they?
Would you like me to answer, sir?
No, I'd like you to answer, did they tase him?
I know that there were 6 officers that had multiple tasers.
It was not safer for the ICE agents who are part of your community. No way was it safer. The safest thing to do is to say, ICE, we got him in custody. Come here, we're releasing. We held him 345 days. We can't hold him a second longer. We can't wait for you to come inside the building. We got to let him go, so you have to arrest him in the parking lot. That is how stupid sanctuary policies are.
I know you obviously would take issue or umbrage with the way that he presented it, but does he have a point? Does that situation of what happened in that case in Denver show something that must change?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a established policy to do this. We've done it 1,226 times and never had an issue. What happens is if we have someone in our custody that ICE wants access to, they ask for a notification. We notify when they'll be released and where. We are different than some of the other cities today in that we do actually notify ICE so they can pick them up. This is the first time I've ever been aware there's been an incident. There were 6 ICE officers there. The individual was unarmed. We walk him right out into a secure location that's a parking lot that's fenced where he can be detained. And so, again, it's worked safely before. I've reached out to ICE. We're going to meet with them next week. If there are procedures we can adjust to make it safer, we're open to that. But this has been a procedure that's worked for a long, long time. We've never had an issue until this week.
Is your relationship with ICE and Brad Homan, who's obviously running all of this, is it a good one right now? Is it productive?
They have not reached out to us. They don't notify us of actions. And so this is the first time we've had communications. I reached out proactively when I saw the video and said, if there's something we can do, we want to make sure that it's safe for officers and for the city. We have 2 jails in the city. Normally, all the people they pick up are from our other facilities, so maybe a function of them being at a new facility. But we always want to make this safe and peaceful for folks that are in the city, and we've never had an incident until now, so we'll look at ways to improve it.
I want to ask you about last night because I'm sure you saw the moment. I don't know if you saw the entire address, but the moment at the beginning, no doubt, Mayor, even with all the prep you were doing for today, I'm sure you've seen, House Republicans have moved to punish Democratic Congressman Al Green, pushing to censure him for shouting during Trump's address to Congress last night. We saw some Democrats walk out of the speech. Some were holding signs. Is any of this, of what we saw, was it good? Was it useful? Did it meet the moment in your view?
I mean, in my mind, the way we meet the moment is to show that we actually can solve the hard problems that are in front of us. I think that's what we did in Denver. 42,000 people arrived in our city, and rather than complain or point fingers at someone else, we dug in and got to work. And the result was a year later, we've closed all 8 of our migrant shelters. We've dropped our budget to support migrants by 90%. We don't have any encampments of migrants on the street. We've put 9,000 people to work. They're paying taxes, paying their bills. This is a solvable problem if folks try to work together. We've done that in Denver. We think Congress ought to be able to do the same thing.
All right. Well, Mayor, I really appreciate your time and thank you very much. Mayor Johnson from Denver. Thanks.